Hello, my name is Nino Magadino. I'm the owner of MaxFlex Fitness here in Naples, Florida. And I'm here today to start you off on the Blue Zones Project series of Move Naturally. Our first session is going to be moving naturally through a warm-up and showing you how to move through a range of motion and then some active stretches. Let's get started. Okay, so let's start off here just with a march, okay? And just get the arms and the legs going so I can get my heart rate up and I start to get my oxygen going just to get the blood flow to the body. And I'm really pumping those knees high and swinging my arms in coordination one at a time. Okay, there you go. Get them high, get that heart rate going. And next we're going to step side to side. So we're going to step side and to side. We're getting the hips, the glutes, and everything warmed up. That's it. Keep moving side to side and have a nice rhythm to it when you move. Okay, so what is move naturally? Okay, let's go 4 more. So move naturally is moving or being active without having to think a lot. Now we're going to go right into our hamstring curl, and you can throw a row in there. So just pick things like jogging, running, swimming, doing movements like these where you don't really have to think a whole lot, but you don't really need a lot of equipment either, okay? So now we're going to go into a reach. Let's reach high. And you see where I pivot. So you could do it anywhere. You could do it out at a park. You could do it at home. You don't really need to necessarily go to a gym, although you can go to a gym. And now we're going to reach low, but just learning how to move naturally, be active, get out, and burn calories, right? Or just feel good about moving. Okay, now let's get right back into that march, okay? Now you should feel the heart rate cooking a little bit more. And you can give me a little bit more of a tempo, okay? Just get those knees moving, those arms moving a little quicker. This is just our warm-up, okay? So we want to get the body warmed up before we get into our stretching. Okay, let's move side to side, okay? And we can move the arms if you want to move the arms. Just incorporate the arms as we go. Okay. And these are great movements to do before you go for a run or a jog or a swim or even yoga, all right? Just to get the body moving, you know. So it's not limited to these things. Now let's go ahead and give me a couple more. The hamstring curl. You know, we want to get the whole body warmed up. Our leg muscles are part of the larger muscles of the body. So that's why we want to get them warmed up before we get into our routine. In part 2, I will show you a little bit more about body weight movement where you can actually build some strength, okay? But with really no equipment at all, okay? Now let's get into that reach. A little more of that reach. You see where I'm really reaching and pulling in, so I'm warming up my back muscles. And my core is always engaged just to kind of help my back. Oh, protect my back. And here. Reach. Okay, do a couple more. And just relax. Okay, now we're going to get into some static stretching. Okay, so our first stretch is going to be for our hamstrings and our calves. So from a side view, let's go ahead and just reach out in front. And you see where my leg's out in front? I'm on my heel, my hip is back, and I want you to place one hand right here on top of your thigh. All right? So I'm feeling a nice stretch coming in through my hamstring back of the leg. Okay, I'm not going to round. It's just here. And then when I point my toe up, I feel a nice stretching through my calf. And these are, again, like I said, these are static stretches. So you want to hold these for 20 seconds. Go ahead and let's do the other side. So again, I place my leg out in front and my hip drops back, keeping that good alignment, feeling that nice stretch. Point the calf up, so I feel that nice stretch in here. So it's really important to do your stretches before you exercise, warm up and stretch so you reduce the risk of injury. Okay, and we work on that range of motion. Okay, very good. Now we're going to get into a hip flexor stretch. Now you can do this stretch kneeling. I'm going to go ahead and just place 1 foot forward and 1 foot back. Now my hip flexor is here, so a lot of times when people have lower back issues, they tend to have tight hip flexors as well. So you can either take it in this position here, I'm nice and tall, okay? My hip comes forward, I'm feeling that stretch in my hip flexor, which is here, and it's part of my quadricep muscle. Okay, feel that good stretch. Make sure you're breathing. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, turn to the other side. Okay, now you should start to feel the body open up a little bit. There you go, feel that good stretch. And you'll feel that one side is a little tighter than the other. All right, that good stretch. You know, we're sitting all day. You know, a lot of us who are working at home now, or they work office jobs, so the body tends to tighten up a little bit. So that's why it's good to do these stretches maybe once or twice a day, just to get the body to open up a little bit. Now we're going to stretch out our inner thigh, which is our groin. So we're going to take a wide stance here. We're going to take a kind of a step to the side, nice and tall, and you feel a stretch right in the inner thigh. Okay, right in through here. Okay, stretch over, feel that good stretch in through there. Make sure you're breathing. We can take it to the other side. You feel that great stretch right into that groin. And even part of your hamstring, one to the other side. Okay, right now you should really feel your lower body start to loosen up. And we're gonna bring it up. Now we're gonna get into stretching our upper body. So we'll start off with our shoulders. And then through here, the rear deltoid muscle. Let's go ahead and bend from the elbow. Take it across. And then look over that shoulder. So you should feel that nice stretch through your upper back. Make sure you're breathing and we're in good alignment, keeping that core nice and tight. That's very important. A lot of us who are working at a desk or using our hands when we work tend to have rounded shoulders. So this is a really, really good stretch for that. Feeling that good stretch. You know, and stretching is great for the psyche too. It's almost like a stress relief. It's relaxing. It gets you in touch with your body and your breathing. You know, that's why yoga is so good. You know, yoga is a big part of the Blue Zones project. Just for that stress relief and that relaxation and getting in touch with yourself, you know, almost that purpose. That good stretching through there. Okay. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and this is our last stretch here. So go ahead and take one hand on top of the head. Now I want you to feel that stretch right into the neck. So we're not gonna pull down too much, just nice and easy. Okay. Again, you feel the endorphins kicking in when we're doing a lot of these stretches. You know, just to kind of help us relax. You know, these are great to do, you know, when you wake up in the morning, not too early. You know, get moving a little bit. And then later on in the afternoon, after a long day's work, we just want to relax and just kind of wind down. Feel that good stretching through here, through that neck. Some people tend to have headaches, and it's partly due to having a tight neck and through here and tight shoulder. So this is a good way to kind of work through that. And make sure we breathe. Okay, fantastic. All right, so now we're warmed up. We're stretched, we're ready to go. Now I'll see you for part 2, okay? See you in a bit.